With the 7th of November yesterday typically known as N7 Day to Mass Effect fans, BioWare put out their annual blog post regarding the event on EA.com, giving us another snippet at what's next for Mass Effect. It's nothing major, and like last year's post or whenever that was, it's mostly left up to us to deduce. So we got a blog post letting us know that the game is still in pre-production, which basically means BioWare has another project that is taking priority at the moment, and could mean any number of anything else, but for the most part it more than likely means the game isn't very far ahead in development and is likely years away. The top paragraph reads as follows. Since we last spoke about the next Mass Effect game, pre-production development has been proceeding... Okay, that's my home screen. Pre-production development has been proceeding very well. The team comprised of Mass Effect franchise veterans as well as some amazing new additions to BioWare has grown steadily. They've been hard at work crafting new characters and locations that you'll love, as well as revisiting many that you'll remember. I like that bit of information. I feel for the continuation of a franchise, two things are important: the old guard and also some new ideas from some new faces. I think both are equally important. There'll be characters and places that we're revisiting, as well as new places and characters, so what this makes me think is the next Mass Effect game will be a more direct continuation of the trilogy than I initially suspected. I won't analyse this first paragraph too much, as it serves as a segue to begin introducing us to the faces behind the next Mass Effect, or at least some of them. But things get interesting towards the bottom of the blog post under the heading Transmission Intercepted, where we get one final message from the project director of the next Mass Effect game, Mike Gamble. In the nearly 15 years since the release of the first Mass Effect, the biggest reason we still love working on it is the warmth, dedication and passion of this community. There are some of you who have been with us through everything. We've grown together, sacrificed Ashley together. Editor's note, or Caden Mike, we all make different choices, faced difficulties together, and laughed until our faces were tired together.
My face is tired from dealing with everything.
And for those of you who are new to Mass Effect, thanks Legendary Edition, welcome. I can promise that many years of fun, adventures and characters you'll fall in love with are still ahead. Regardless of when you joined us through 4 games and more expansions, I can say with certainty that we're in this because of you, and every N7 day is a wonderful reminder of that. As we look forward, each week is a fun and exciting challenge for the team. We love bringing this universe to life, and although there's much more we want to share with you, that'll have to be for another time. For now, there is something we want you to have a look at. We've intercepted some strange footage from one of the monitoring stations in known space. It could be nothing, but... And then there's a clip we can download with the file name SA Intercept Cytherium System Doc 314. The noise sounds pretty creepy, but for the time being that's not what we're going to focus on, but we will come back to it in a minute. The shot is of some kind of space station orbiting a planet. It has some similarities to a mass relay with the spinning bit there, and it's designated MR7, which could stand for Mass Relay 7. However, this would suggest modern reconstruction of mass relays, or maybe even potentially the creation of entirely new ones, or I could be barking up the wrong tree altogether. There are various ships in this shot. The one approaching the station from the bottom right could possibly be the ship that was teased a couple of years back, or however long ago it was, I can't remember. You may also recognise the shot. It appears to be from BioWare's 25th anniversary book, and was released a couple of years back as teaser artwork from the next Mass Effect. There are differences, such as the planet in the background is more vivid, and most importantly, the data in the bottom left corner. It reads Vacuum Dock Relay Construction Record, monitoring station operated by Green Dagger Limited, property of Deep Space Dow SAV, ship captain Subnavarch Soral Zillion Jones. Sounds like a Quarian name up until the Jones bit. Then it says for interior use only SA314 110790, followed by 000, 1000, 201, and then seconds. I presume 110790 is the date, N7 day, the 7th of November, 2190 maybe, suggesting the date at which this is supposedly from, and possibly around the time of the next Mass Effect game, being 4 years after the events of Mass Effect 3, which would make it not an immediate continuation from the trilogy, but you'd still be dealing with the aftermath of it. There's time in there for things to not be completely fucked, because the Mass Effect 3 ending is pretty colossal and it has some severe consequences no matter which way you turn. And if this is the case, then I suppose we'll get to see how the galaxy is recovering from the Reaper invasion. But that is not all. If you look at the raw metadata of the file by throwing it into a notepad application like this Twitter user did, there are further hidden details that are extra juicy. Least surprising of all is mention of Liara in something known as Test 5. Another line suggests there's a hidden mix on a 5-second loop, which may suggest that there's information in the audio if you can clean it up. But we'll get to that in a minute. Perhaps most creepily is there is a line that reads originator equals Reaper. May suggest we haven't seen the last of the Reapers, or there's something else going on that revolves around them somehow. But for the time being, the question is, what is the hidden mix that is hidden in the metadata? People managed to crack this cookie especially quickly, so around 11 hours ago, as of recording this video, the Mass Effect official Twitter account outright tweeted it.
I can see it. How did we miss this?
Exactly. The Council will be furious. Although they should know by now not to underestimate human defiance. Perhaps was the most living fate.
It appears as if Liara is communicating with what sounds like a Geth, which makes sense considering the poster that was teased a year ago. There's mention of the Council being furious and human defiance, so it's entirely possible that that has something to do with the plot. As for the Geth significance, the poster from last year nails it home, with the crater on that giving the appearance of a Geth's face. However, it's a bit strange, as everything else appears to hint towards the Destroy ending from Mass Effect 3 being canon, but in that ending, all synthetics are destroyed. That includes the Reapers, the mass relays, and EDI, and certainly the Geth. That thought process may need to be revised, or perhaps there's more to it that we don't know yet. But if the Destroy ending is the canon one, it would make sense why the mass relays would need to be rebuilt, and considering they're being rebuilt with modern technology, it makes sense that they would look vastly different if what's seen in front of you right now is indeed that, which it may very well not be. Evidently, I like to be a touch conservative with my speculation, because I know in a few years' time when the game's out and we're all playing it, if I ever look back at this video, I'll think I'm a massive idiot. But to be perfectly honest, that's possibly entirely unavoidable. But on the whole, it's amazing how much information can be shared with just a simple image and audio file. BioWare's certainly playing this game quite well in keeping fans interested, instead of just announcing things through shareholders' posts that appear to appeal to the business side of things rather than the community side of things. It's obviously intended to be a bit businessy, at least, because otherwise we wouldn't be getting anything, but there's certainly a fair chunk of information to break down. One last thing that's a bit unrelated to everything else is this file mentions the Cytherium system, which would be a new star system that we haven't visited, and obviously that is where this image is supposedly from, I'd imagine. But it makes sense as the post mentions new locations, so maybe this is one of them. I don't know how to break this word down, but if you're interested, Cytherium is an extinct genus of otters that lived in North America. Yeah. Then also the file name hints at Doc 314, which may be a nod to Relay 314 or the Relay 314 incident, which was also known as the First Contact War between humans and Turians in 2157 in the Mass Effect universe. Again, I don't know where to fit that information in, but it may have significance, it may not. So all in all, there's a lot of individual pieces of information here, but it's hard to get a big picture, and I think that's by design, because this game is years off a formal announcement in the sense of, here's the game, here's what it's going to be about, here's some gameplay, rather than a teaser trailer a couple of years back, the artwork, or this. With this information and the information we already had, is this meant to make sense, or is it just EA and BioWare throwing us a bone whilst they appeal to investors? And if that's the case, it's excusable I suppose, because at least it's fun for us as well. Regardless, there's no point diving down the rabbit hole of exploring every possible theory that springs to mind, there's simply 1,000,001. But thank you all for watching this video, I hope that you've enjoyed. Be sure to go ahead, leave a like, subscribe, share the channel with your friends, all that wonderful stuff, that would be awesome. And of course, use the comment section to let me know your thoughts, because I'm pretty certain there will be people down there with greater intelligence than I that can certainly see a lot more than perhaps I can. I will link where I got my information down in the description if you want to go and explore more so on your own. And there'll also be a link to my history channel Decades if you want to go ahead and check that out. There's all sorts of content over there and plenty more to come, but if you're not interested in that kind of content, then please don't feel obligated. It's no problem. I understand that just like what I do here, it won't be for everybody, so if it's not for you, don't force yourself. And with any luck, I'll be seeing you all very soon with another video at some point, but until next time, please take care and goodbye.